Hey, this is Ralph, and in this video I want to use both the payment function and the number of payment periods function in Excel in order to get some insight into how long it's going to take me to pay off $25,000 in debt. So we've got this scenario that we were working up in class the other day. We've got a handful of debts, different amounts, different rates, calculated the weighted average a little bit ago. Let's start off here with our payment. So we're going to go ahead and we'll use the we'll do payment there, and I guess we'll do NPER, number of payment periods, down here. So first, let's go ahead and calculate the payment using the payment function. So I'm going to use the payment function, and I'm just going to let the screen tip remind me of the various parts. We need the rate, the number of payment periods, and the present value. Any parameters that are in square brackets are optional. Sometimes you use them, sometimes you don't. You don't need to use them. Okay, so first is going to be the rate. Well, we do have a rate up here, and I'll use the weighted average. However, that's an annual number, so I'm going to divide this by 12, assuming that I want to calculate monthly payments. So I'm going to convert that to a monthly rate, comma. Now it's going to be the number of payment periods. Well, this I really don't know yet, so I could guess at a number. What would I like it to be? So when you're filling out this information, and if you don't have a piece of value, you've got to enter it in. So we had to enter in the rate. Now I got to put in the number of payment periods. Now I don't like putting a hard-coded number in here, but I'm going to start off. Let's say I want to do this over 5 years, and since we're working in months, that'll be 60. So 60 months will be my number of payment periods, comma. And now we'll have things like the present value. That's going to be the amount for the loan. So the amount for the loan is going to be right up here. It's going to be my total debt. Now when I write this, it's going to give us a negative number, negative $550 a month basically. I don't like to see that negative, so I'm going to put a minus sign in front of the PMT, and that's going to give me a positive number. And you know what? I think I would prefer to have the number of payment periods down here. So I think I will say, I'll just type my 60 right in here. And we'll say number of months. There we go, 60 months. And now that I have that value there, I can jump up to this, and instead of referring to the 60, I can refer to the cell that contains the 60, and now I still get that same result. But it's a little bit easier for me to manipulate now, because if I realize, ooh, I can't afford $550 a month for debt payoff, maybe I do this over 72 months, which would be a slightly less monthly payment because it's spread out over a 6th year. Okay, so there's a little bit of information about how we can calculate payments. And of course, we could use our goal seek. Let me try that real quick. So I'm going to head over to the data ribbon, and then all the way over here, there's the what if analysis, and we'll find goal seek. I use goal seek quite a bit. I actually have a button for it right up here on my quick launch, so I can go to goal seek very often, or as often as I want. But let's see, I'll just head back over to the data ribbon, what if analysis, goal seek. And I'm going to set cell, the number of months. Actually, I don't know what that's going to be. So I'm going to set my payment cell to, let's say I can only afford $420 a month. I'll put in 420 by changing the number of months, and that's going to tell us exactly what we need there. I'll click OK and OK again, and it looks like I'll need a little bit more than 88 months in order to pay off this debt at $420 a month. Now we can also use the number of payment periods function. So this is where we'll do NPER, and once you do one of these functions like payment or future value, others that are related are going to be familiar because you're going to see similar parameters. So if I want to do the number of payment periods function, let's see what we get here. Equals NPER, parentheses. Of course, I need the rate. I'll click on my weighted rate and divide that by 12, comma. Now I have to enter in what my payment's going to be. Technically, I'd want to do this as a minus sign, but I'll do that later. So I'll just click on the cell where my monthly payment is, comma. And then for the present value, this would also be my total debt. So I'll go ahead and click on this cell. And we get a negative 47 right there. Well, that doesn't look very good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the present value, F1. I'll do a minus sign for that. And now we get to our positive 88.4444, which, as you notice, is the exact same number that the goal seek gave us. So depending on how you want to calculate things, you can use the number of payment periods function to figure out how long it's going to take, or you can use goal seek. Now, the benefit of using the number of payment periods function here means, well, okay, I could change my payment number a little bit more readily. Now, if I hand code something in my payment here, we're going to see that it actually starts to break some things, but it's going to be fine for the number of periods function. So, for instance, I could change this to $500, and of course, my number of months down here is still a little bit broken, but we can see the number of payment periods has dropped down to 68. So it's really just about what is ultimately your goal to discover. Do you want to discover what the monthly payment's going to be and tinker with that? Or do you want to discover how long it's going to take you to pay something off, the number of payment periods, if you know that dollar amount is kind of static and can't really be tweaked very much? Okay, so payment function, number of payment periods function. Take care.